Hi world, it's about 1:30 p.m. on the 22nd of July 2016. Woke up this morning and the sun was at 29 degrees of Cancer. The moon was at 29 degrees of Aquarius. Now they've both changed sign. The sun has just moved into Leo, the moon has just moved into Pisces, and all of a sudden there's a different energy in town. So, having said that, I want to give my opinion on what's going on for a number of individuals. Now, a number of you are being affected by the planet Pluto. And I've been dealing with a lot of Plutonic energy recently in individual client readings. This is primarily those people born around the 6th, 7th, 8th of January, 6th, 7th, 8th of July, and also similar dates, perhaps a day later, in October and April. If you're one of these, then Pluto has been squaring, conjuncting or opposing your sun. The following descriptions also apply if Pluto is conjuncting, squaring or opposing your moon or ascendant, but in different areas of life. Current take on it as on July 2016. Pluto in Capricorn is changing the way we look at the larger political structures in our world, whether it be the European Union, the American Senate and Congress, individual councils or parliaments, or individual community groups. Power structures are changing. Now, when Pluto's in challenging aspect, then words like intensity and extreme, crises, trauma, obsession, compulsion, do seem to be ever more common. There's an element of subversiveness, behind the scenes, manipulation, underhand tactics involving control freakery, domination, power struggles. This is the negative side of Pluto. However, there's an equally strong neutral and positive side. If Pluto's affecting you in what I would consider a neutral way, or you're strong enough to be able to recognise its potentials and transmute them from negative into at least neutral, then words like detoxing, cleansing, purifying, eliminating and streamlining come into the equation, where you recognise that you are not becoming powerful but power filled, and that power flows through you. And if it stays within, then it ultimately corrupts. But if it comes out and uses you as a conduit and a channel, then it is very, very affirming. There is a positive side to this, and that involves words like transformation, regeneration, rebirth, shape-shifting. It is the snake shedding its skin, caterpillar turning into butterfly, ultimately the phoenix rising. And particularly, I find that with difficult Pluto aspects, people will go through a year of having major skin issues, aka the snake shedding its skin. Hence the onset of things like psoriasis, eczema, dandruff, athlete's foot. The skin will literally fall off as the skin is shed. Now, with Pluto, these descriptions apply primarily to Pluto in aspect to one's sun. But if it's one's moon that's being affected, then whereas if Pluto hits one's sun, it's all to do with individual self-empowerment, self-confidence, one's own inner psychological states, the way that one manages the outside world by using psychology, and the degree of transformation that one pushes and purges oneself through. It's not easy with Pluto's sun, as I know from my past. If it's Pluto moon, then it's much more likely to be affecting people in your immediate environment, i.e. family, particularly women, one's emotional states. There can be emotional power struggles or emotional breakthroughs. Emotions are generally stimulated by influences from people in one's personal and immediate environment. Feelings are more innate and belonging to one's self, but Pluto moon will stimulate feelings and emotions in a way that's normally very difficult to manage and often quite painful. If the point being aspected by Pluto is the ascendant or the midheaven, then the effects are very much going to be with one's external world affairs, the relationship one has with one's neighbours, work colleagues, employers, people around oneself, perhaps parents if it's the midheaven, and it's going to affect the way that the individual promotes and projects themselves both into and onto the outside world, whether it's at the day-by-day level, as with the ascendant, or whether it's large-scale, long-term, big-picture, outside world stuff, as it is with the midheaven. Considering Pluto is only the size of Mercury, if not even smaller, considering that Pluto is 4 billion miles away, the science behind how it works, yeah, if you bring quantum into it, I can sort of wrap my head around it, but it's fairly difficult. Fact is, I know it works. I don't need to prove it, not to myself anyway. And all my clients know it works as well. And if you're one of those people who's getting hit by Pluto at the moment, thing is, Pluto is not something that's over and done within a week. It takes a year minimum, sometimes two. Later this year, think it's the 3rd week of October, but I will check on this as we get closer to the time. Mars in the sky will land on top of Pluto between 12 to 17 degrees of Capricorn, and that's going to trigger quite a few people's ongoing transformative processes. More on this one later. New energy in town. Sun's in Leo, Moon's in Pisces. It's going to be an interesting next 24 hours. Have fun, folks. Bye.